when you say Hosanna, because I don't remember using a word in my vocabulary at all.
You are not really.
Hosanna, Hosanna, hallelujah, and I don't think that me not use it in my vocabulary.
Some program way back when you know muta.
Yeah, me know way back when. Watch out, me know when me usually say way back when, you know. And me I say, in my tradition, my left in Kingston, left in 12 tribe, go up in a bush, go live and them thing there. My perspective open to another level. Right? So, me used to say when I look at people, me mad at me about Jesus Christ, I say Jesus Christ, I become evolve out of that. You know, see, when we look on all the Bible, see, I say people relate to the Bible and start to quote the Bible. I say, right, you don't know, say this could have been that and this could have that. I evolve out of the Bible. I not say that no more. No, people might vex when we attack these things, you know, but is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Listen to me now. Them say Jesus come from Nazareth. Not Jesus, Mary, sorry. Them say Mary and Joseph was in Nazareth. And I talk about Christmas, I know, because we're in the Christmas season and we are trying to show you or put something to perspective. Them say the king or the governor decides that he want to count the people them, get a census of the people them. But according to them, they have to move from Nazareth and go to a place named Bethlehem. Listen to what I say now. Listen to what I say. And you can go back or check what I say. Understand? You can listen to what I say now, but you have to go back or check what I say. Alright, so according to them, they were supposed to go to Bethlehem for register. Now, there's no record of that happening. That this man here did want to register the people them, and they have to move them. They have to move the whole of the city to go over to the next city, which was like nearly 100 miles away. No people. You know, so between Kingston and Montego Bay, between Kingston and Montego Bay is about, what we call 80 miles. They don't reach 100 miles. They don't reach 100 miles between Kingston and Montego Bay. And we are talking about the good road where we have. Good road. I will say good road too. Maybe they will have asphalt to say good road. But we have good road, asphalt, and it's 80 miles from Kingston to Mobile. No. You really believe, say, in them days that there was no paved road. Them never have no car. Where them a ride pan is donkey. But we now go ride pan donkey between come up from Stone Hill go down a town, which is not even 30 miles. And we have good road. The people them in them days they used to ride pan donkey or horse. Poor people have donkey. Now, let me ask you a question. You don't really believe, say, a young girl between the age of 12 and 15, let us put it at 15, pregnant at 9 months, her husband put her upon a donkey for ride, for go to a town where is nearly 100 miles away. Listen to what I say. Between Kingston and Montego Bay is about 80 miles, and we have nice road for drive pan. Them days, you know, have no road, up here pathway for drive, for ride. Would you put your 9-month-old pregnant woman on a bicycle or a motorbike for ride from Montego Bay go to a hospital? Why would you believe a story will tell you, say, a man named Joseph in his 20s, late 20s, take him wife in a 12-year-old to 15-year-old, 9 months pregnant, put her upon a donkey and ride for about 4 to 5 days, traveling on them road where they didn't have them days there, traveling to nearly 100 miles to a place named Bethlehem for go register yourself and then go pan away to have a youth. Think on it. Think on it. The ride the ride from which part of go from come from Tupac take about 5 days. And she was 9 months pregnant. Would you take your wife, who was 9 months pregnant, on a donkey, on a bike, on a bicycle, even on a tricycle, and take her for go register in a Nella town where is nearly as the distance of Kingston to Montego Bay, and then put that, and people accept that as a reality statement, and that a star in the sky. You know, for the star, the nearest star to the earth is the sun. The nearest star to the earth is the sun. Them say the sun is 93 million miles away from the earth. And you are telling me, say, a star move and go over the barn, which part the only animal there where them say Jesus is born. And it stand up over the house, the barn where Jesus is born, that some man could have ride, come up on camel, and it lead them to this barn. The star come right over the cannon. You know it's part of star there. You know it's part of star there from earth. You know sometimes you look on a star and believe to the star over there, so the more you go out where you think the star there, the more it look like it can move. The more you go to the horizon, is the more you see the horizon like it can move. And people take them story there as, oh, it there, it's in the Bible, so I saw it go. Yes, I saw it go, but guess what? It's fairy tale, not go so. The reality or lack of it in some of these stories that we hold fast to this time of the year. And one of the biggest one of them is Christmas, Christmas. Them put it in the 25th of December. And them tell you, say, the shepherd them was tending them sheep in the pastures. And every time you look on our postcard, you see some youth attend sheep in the pasture. And we know, say, apart from you telling me, say, this man take him wife, put her upon a donkey 9 months 9 months pregnant for travel 100 miles in a winter. It get even more outrageous when you understand what is going on. In a winter, we talk about cold time. You put your wife in at the time when them claim said happen. Because of them say winter it happen, you know. Yeah, them tell you say winter. And them tell you say some man come from the east. What part of the east the man them come from? Oh, you know, say it's 3 wise men. Nothing like that not in the Bible. Where we get that from? About 3 wise men. Which part of the Bible? I'm going to talk to my Christian friend, you know. Which part of the Bible you read say 3 wise men go visit Jesus and him when him born? Which part of the Bible? Show me it in the Bible. The reason why you come up with 3 is because you hear say the man them bring gold, frankincense, and myrrh. That is different kind of gifts. It don't mean say it's 3 man bring it. Because 5 man can carry gold. It's like when them say the woman named Michaela go visit Solomon. She carry camels of frankincense, camels of frankincense, camels of gold. When Mansa Musa, they left the west coast and go to Arabia to go visit Arabia, thousands of animals, cannibals were chatting with him. Thousands of men go with him. Them develop a story where have no logical, rational argument that we can say, yes, believe it, but we actually believe it. Because we never have no other story to verify that story. And most of the time when we are justified, when we read in the Bible, we use the next part of the Bible to justify it. In other words, the same book has justified the book itself. And we don't believe in a Batman and Robin, neither Superman, neither Wakanda. So we say, the idea that some people are going to take up, the story that about the star, where them say gone over the house. When we picture the star in our head, and that's what you know say, oh, you know say your brainwash, is when somebody have that think about a story, and you start to visualize the story in your head, without realizing, say, nothing couldn't happen that way there. and you start to repeat the story like say you did experience the story when you only experience the story in your head. And anything can happen in your head. You can carry yourself go anywhere in your head. So when them say now, this star over the place to lead the man them, and when you look on your postcard, where white people print and give you see 3 men on a camel come at the barn where them couldn't find no room in the hotel them. Them go all over and couldn't find no room in the hotel and them end up in a one barn. And the baby barn in the stable, in the barn where all the cow them and the goat them and all them things, they're there. So the man, I mean, after that couldn't happen, you know. But what lead up to that story, if the story start out wrong, well, why should we believe the other part of the story? If them bring this fable to you, about man travel upon donkey, nearly 100 miles, and 9-month-old, 9-month woman have baby, and over hills and valleys and rocks and mountains for 4 or 5 days, shall travel away there. And you actually accept that as a logical explanation of how the Son of Man, Jesus Christ, God in the flesh, come out, and you start to believe it, internalize it, and start to repeat it like say you have an experience of it. Because them tell you say the only son where Jesus have is God, you know. The Muslim tell you say God not have no son. Even though them believe in a Jesus. Even though them believe in a Jesus. The Muslim them say God not have no son. And God and watch a man. It's a weird story because here now. I'll show you how we get confused. I'll see if I can find it in the Bible. Yeah, alright. Find it in the Bible. Them tell you say, when we come out, them say, common G-O-D is the gods. It's not insignificant. But when you see the capital G-O-D is the creator of heaven and earth to deal with. Capital G-O-D. Them tell you say it's only one son God have, and that is Jesus Christ. Yet still, in that Genesis 6, this is for my Christian friend them, you know. This is for my Christian friend them. In that Genesis 6, it said, and it came to pass, when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, and daughters were born unto them, that the sons of God, the sons, common S-O-N-S, of God, capital G-O-D, that the sons of God saw that the daughters of men, in other words, the man them upon the earth, I don't know where the son of God come from, but the man them upon the earth did have daughters. And the sons of God saw that the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. So God picked them, start to mingle with men pick me. In other words, the gods them, the man them who belong to God, start to mix with the daughters who belong to men. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. He also is flesh. I wonder if you understand where I work yes or no. Look, I read it again. That the sons of God saw that the daughters of men, that they were fair, and they took them wives of all which they chose. And the Lord said, my spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh, yet his days shall be 120 years. People, it's not me write this thing. Not me write this thing. If you want to read it yourself, go read it. Them tell you says one son God have. And we interpret it to mean that. And over the years, you hear pastors say it. Church people say it. There's only one son God have. When I tell them, say, in my younger days, I say, I am the son of God. Man, I say, you blaspheme. Man, I say, you blaspheme because you say, you're the son of God. Because there's only one son God have. But the Bible didn't tell you that. The Bible said the sons, plural, sons of God, saw that the daughters of men were fair. And him say, for that he also is flesh. his spirit shall not always strive with man, for that he also is flesh. You know, so when me in a 12 tribe, I read that thing they like 100 times to figure it out. And I said, what it really has said, the sons of God, so that his daughters of men were fear. And he started to talk about he also is flesh. Who also is flesh? Who also is flesh? That is the question in the story. Who talk about that he is also flesh? The spirit shall not always strive with man, but them days shall be 120 years. And in that day, giant and gone to say giant start to come upon the earth and all the way, and then God start to vex, say make man. Because the wickedness of man increased upon the earth. And every imagination and thoughts of his heart was also evil. That is man in my talk about, because for him picking them, that's like a Greek story, you know. Nobody can tell me like a Greek mythology that, you know. For him picking them, mix up with the picking them, where he make them man there, you know, upon the earth. And them have picnic. And for him picking them, mix up with the man them upon earth, picking them, and start to mingle up with one another. In other words, we shouldn't let them mingle up. Those who see themselves as sons of God shouldn't let them mingle up with people where God make. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. It's really, really crazy. But we're coming at this time, yeah. And we regurgitate the story over and over till we start to accept it as our reality. Given that what is happening now and then is two different periods in human history, we have to realize when a man is writing story, you can't take a 2,000 year story or a 4,000 year story and evaluate yourself. Fight and say, this is how you must live. Because how the man did live is totally different from how we are live. You know, see, and there's certain things, like when a man tell you, say, you know, if a man, thou shalt not commit adultery, and then the next man come and tell you, say, watch out, even if you think it in your heart, you have already committed adultery, then how much man is not guilty of that? That means you done, you know, because when the 10 commandments say, thou shalt not commit adultery, and a man come interpret it for you, how much hundreds of years after, thousands of years after, him come interpret for you and say, when you say adultery, you know, it's one thing for you to say you do sleep with a man wife, you know, or a man asleep, or a woman asleep with a man who's no. But if you even think about it, you're God. You understand? If you even think about it, which man or which woman can truly say them do even think about it? The reality is that I have said non-apologetically, so a lot of this story never happened. That is what I really tell you. Because when you have a book like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and these four men, you know, say John was all a little youth. Jesus, according to them, you know, him go among some man when he was 12 years old, you know, and confounded with reasoning. And then you have John, who was another teenager youth. If you read Matthew, Mark, and Luke, you know, where John says a total different thing from what them are saying, you know. Yeah. You know, him start out him thing in the beginning, the word, and the word was, no, that didn't start out that way there, no. As a matter of fact, Matthew start out with that genealogy. Through Joseph, you have the problem with it. Luke have a genealogy through Mary. But the two of them have a different person for Joseph, father. What me say? I never make a mistake with what I say. I say, Matthew have a different name for Joseph father than Luke. One of them said Joseph father was Jacob, and the next one same father was Eli. Two different people. Which one are we to believe? Because these men are writing not from seeing these things happen in front of them, because really and truly, when them things are right, the man that is gone already. And I see it, dozens of years after the death, what them call AD, after the death, that these things is written. And them write certain things in the story. Not because them know say it happened, but because there were people that tell them in at the time. So when you hear about the birth, how come the birth of one of the greatest man who ever lived in Christianity, nobody can tell precisely when him did born. Everybody will give an interpretation. And we know say the 25th of December is not the birthday. We not ask nobody that. And them know say who write it, know say him never born a day there. But it imprinted in a way. And we think about it every year. And when we are celebrated, we celebrate it in a way that have nothing to do with no man who born the 25th of December, as you can plainly see with your eyes wide closed. None away. Can't look outside of where we will start for an explanation of what is written. And when we see history come in front of it, because it's not in line with where we were taught or brainwashed into thinking, we reject it. That is why there's so much different association as it relates to just that part of the Bible. Other parts, but now we are talking about Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. That is where the story there. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, and everything else follow that. We read of these stories, and these stories was placed into some real place. It's not like the place them don't exist, you know. But maybe other man named Jesus did exist, you know, but no Christ never in him. The story them put for a man, maybe a man did there, Yeshua. So a whole heap of people named Yeshua in them time there. And you have a whole heap of Christ. Because Christ just means anointed. That's all it means, anointed. David was Christ. But them said Jesus is the Christ. So people put Christ on Jesus and make it sound like his surname is Christ. But no go so. Christ is not meant to be a name of a person. Christ is not meant to be the name of a person. It never expect you to say Tony Christ or John Christ. That is like Mr. Mr. is not meant to be the name of a person. It is a title given to people. And we have to realize that. So, them configure a man and put him in history. That's what them do. Them configure, them take them draw from this, that, and all the different thoughts around them and place it into an individual man. And this man now become the centerpiece of Western philosophy and religious belief system. And any man who come now have to fashion him religion around that idea, as we can say, all of what we know now as it relates to religion in the Western world is centered around that idea that there was a man living 2,000 years ago who was born of a woman who never have no sex to have him. And then quote the Old Testament, and when it's saying in the Old Testament version, it never mean a woman never have sex. It never mean that. Virgin birth never means there's a woman who don't have no sex. That's what it come to mean eventually. But even
before we get into the video, my people, you ever think about having your own pharmacy in your backyard? Yeah man, your own natural pharmacy. Then check out today's sponsors, my people. Medicinal Garden Kit. Now this one will provide you with 10 different powerful herbs that you can plant right in your backyard, my people. And you don't need a lot of space, you just need a little place, my people, for just shove these seeds in the earth and let them grow. In no time you have some powerful herbs that you can use to empower the health, my people. Remember, your health is your responsible. It is super important to have these things in your backyard, just in case any health crisis attack you, my people. You can run in your backyard and you can put on some tea and you can knock with that quick, my people. Remember, herb is the healing of the nation. So, my people, check out the link in the description for more information about this, where they'll be breaking down all the benefits of these 10 powerful herbical plants that you can have in your backyard. Check it out, my people.
The herbs are for the healing of the nation.
do it look ridiculous. People still believe it because them say it's God. And God can do anything. God make man and then repent. That he make man. Because man will become wicked. And him have all evil in him heart. What does he make them? And his son them go married to the daughters of these wicked men. That him have to come later down now and try and say, boy, I'm going to put one man in our boat. Will never happen. Did not happen. 500-foot boat cannot hold a pair of every animal, species of animal at that time. Plus, them say not ongo. Them have some unclean ones to in there. Plus 8 people. That story never happened. That is where them configure it in a mythological mindset to bring about an understanding of freedom reality, not my reality. Not my reality. Not my ancestors' reality at this moment. Our reality has just started to be written in books, in papers, and in voice in it. We never used to, most of the history never write down. It was transmitted orally through the village and through the town square. But guess what? A lot of the people them who hand it down did experience it. And then we now come tell the story. And then we have understanding of science and technology that we can do certain things of record it. Like a man can say, it's Muta said that, you know, because hear him there, hear him voice there, him say that. When we hear about Mark, who is Mark? Who is Mark? All these men were supposed to be according to what we were learning at school that we used to hear say the man was fisherman and Father Jesus. Yet see them could attack and know Greek. Where them learn Greek from? Them is supposed to be Jews, not having no education, but walking up and down with this man who was a follow me and I'll make a fisher of men. And them could have write Greek. Authentic Greek, not like we know who learn English but talk patois, and when we are right, sometimes we can't spell. But we have to go to school, go learn these things. And you tell me now, say some man, I walk up and down and learn Greek, that them could have write Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And we believe these things. So we see it into the brainwashing as a people. As African people, like we don't have nothing for ourselves. We don't have nothing can turn to. Because all the things that we can turn to, say them evil. And them not good for we. I'm going to tell you, watch yourself by the blood of Jesus, and you don't see that as something weird. When a man say, boy, a man tell him, a spirit tell a man say, take him son and go kill him, sacrifice him. Them people that was used to eat all people too. Yes, them used to do it. Because some of the things that them do was despicable. But when them look on other nations, you hear say these people is despicable. Me I watch some old time cowboy show and me I say, but look on these people who come say them a teach we civilization. When them man they have guns strapped on them side, everywhere them go and just pick fight with people and kill people just like that. Left them in the street. Just kill the Native American them just so. Native American land and them come take the Native American land and just kill the people in the name of Jesus. When the Knights Templar go to Jerusalem and kill off the Muslims, they must do it in the name of the Lord. And now we see them take over people's land and call it Israel and call themselves Israeli. Where is the history of these people? We understand now, in this time here, that we African people. And no matter what them say, no matter how foolish them want to say what we see now is foolishness and we don't believe in that foolishness and stupidness. Look at what them believe in now. Look at all them people that we are Kosal Rasta. Look what them believe in now. And say the foolishness that them have enough in their mind. I try to put it together and I contradict people about this and this and that. It now work. It's here.
Yeah, man, I'm here.
Blessed man.
Yeah, respect and thanks, Mr. Manners and respect.
I reserve.
Yes, I. Yeah, me have a little clarification still. Hope you take it in a good faith, because you know you put in
Yeah,
a
man,
lot of work.
I mean, man must take it in a good faith.
Yeah, man, because you put in a lot of work still. So when I try to disrespecting, you know, anyway. So I'll listen to a conversation I heard you had with a bridging. when you said Haile Selassie is not God, what do you really mean? Just a question.
Yeah, because I don't use the term God, because God is something where them give way, and God can mean anything.
Okay.
I don't use God to describe Haile Selassie.
Okay.
In my consciousness, I think the idea of man and where man potential is higher than God. God is something where man configure their mind and come up with. And the word God come from the idea of a deity, right? Like when a man say God is really a deity, I work with,
So you don't believe in a no deity at all?
No. Man, I work with, man. Nature, man is part of nature. Yeah, so the reason why I say Haile Selassie is because when Haile Selassie, this is where it brings me to. The history of Haile Selassie and who the man is it carry me to which part I the righteous or no in my thinking. But I don't believe them going to come back and save Earth, save the planet, and all these things. I know into that.
Can I say anything?
Yeah, this is
about 20 years ago, you weren't saying these things.
No, I wasn't saying it. No, I never, you never hear me from Paris and say, I got do,
What you say is the Almighty.
Yeah.
The Almighty and God in your language.
The Almighty to I, and the only God, I because use the word God now. The only God that exists to I is the one that creates I self.
When you say you create for yourself, what do you
mean?
Say
in my meditation, I can look at my wife and say she's God.
Okay.
And then work with she. Okay. I can look on the stone and say it's God, and I can work with it. And I can look and say Haile Selassie is God and work with him. But I don't use the word God. So if I say Almighty, it's Almighty within the levels of how I see it. I not tell a man to go see it that way there,
Oh, it's all you see.
That's why I tell you, say, God, the only God that exists, I'm not going to use the word God for reason of this conversation. The only God that exists is the one where I create for myself.
That's how Mutabaruka.
We can't talk for the next man.
It must be the way how it is then.
No, but we can't talk from
your perspective.
Yeah, but we can't talk for the next man. Not about for me. When me come up in a, look at you, when me come up in a Rasta, me come up in a Rasta and go 12 tribe. Right? And in a 12 tribe, me hear them say, greetings in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Was this day revealed himself in the personality of
did you believe that?
No, that's why a whole heap of will have to leave, because how will that say Haile Selassie? It carry to ital food, it carry to ital liberty, but one plant food, 12 tribe never into that. I mean, never see myself as a tribe.
So when I heard you making some clarification about Haile Selassie, where them call him a Baba Janai, when you say them call him, or when them sing Hosanna to him and all these things, what do you say then? For example, I heard you say them what Hosanna mean.
You hear me say Hosanna?
Hosanna. No, the people them that they crown him in Ethiopia.
That them is Christian people, it's Catholic Church that crown him. It's Christians that crown Haile Selassie,
But I heard you use that term.
Hosanna?
Pertaining to Haile Selassie, so I was just
No. You hear me say Hosanna is related to Haile Selassie? What about Hosanna? Like what is about Hosanna?
It was some clarification he was making in one of your program.
And say Hosanna?
Just understand.
No, that's not apologize for man. What you say? When you say Hosanna, because I don't remember using a word in my vocabulary at all.
Yeah, you are not really.
Hosanna, Hosanna, hallelujah, and I don't think me not use it in my vocabulary.
Some program way back when in a mood.
Yeah, me know way back when. Watch out, me know when you watch out. Me know when you usually say way back when, And me say, in my tradition, my left in Kingston, left in Turkey, I go up in a bush, go live and them thing there. My perspective open to another level. Right? So, me used to say, when I look at me mad at me about Jesus, I say Jesus Christ, I become evolve out of that. You know, see, when we look on how the Bible, see, I say people relate to the Bible and start to quote the Bible, I'm say, right, you don't know, say this could have been that and this could have that. I'm evolve out of the Bible. I'm not say that no more. But Hosanna, no sir, me not use the word of that, sir.
I'm saying you were using it to clarify how some word that they.
But I say I can't use God to you to clarify something
to him.
Yeah, but when I say I can't say God to you for you to clarify something to you, could I say God? Me not have no instruction to say God. It's just that me not call Haile Selassie God.
So Haile Selassie doesn't mean higher than God to you. What is the meaning? Is it the name or the man, or is both of them?
It's the man.
So what about the name? What about the meaning of the name?
Him name Haile Selassie. No,
does the name carry any weight?
The weight what name mean? What Haile Selassie mean?
Power of the Holy Trinity.
That is alright. The power of the Holy Trinity is where the name translates to in Amharic. I tell you say it don't make no difference if him call power of the Holy Trinity or not. It's Haile Selassie I call him.
So I'm saying without the man that did ban, they not fulfilling the prophecy, the name not carry any weight. So
the name carry a weight to me because I study the man history. I study him history and I see a weight and it's him I identify with. I identify with Haile Selassie. That is who I identify. That man,
just
the man
alone, the name don't have nothing to do with it.
No, Haile Selassie. His name Haile Selassie. I don't interpret
the name has a great meaning. It carry a value.
Yeah, but I got but you have other people named Haile in Ethiopia and Selassie in Ethiopia. It's not
but is the name of what the man accomplished and everything?
No, it's born with the name Haile Selassie. It's born with the name. No, it's in parents.
When a man say Rastafari, is it the man name has become also a religion? It is way beyond just.
But I know Rastafari is a religion. It's not a religion to me. It's not a religion to me.
Whether you say it's not a religion to you, it is in the Bible. It is in the dictionary.
You see Rastafari in the dictionary?
Rastafarian in the dictionary.
You see Rastafari in the dictionary?
Yeah, man, Rastafarian. I saw it in the dictionary.
Alright, what Rastafarian mean?
In the dictionary.
What mean?
Rastafarian.
It's a religion.
As God.
Yeah, and I tell you say, and listen to me now, I tell you say, I not say Haile Selassie as God.
Alright, no problem. But
and the man them who I grew up with in a Rasta, when I left Kingston and God, I never hear them say Haile Selassie as God.
What I'm saying to you, when a man say Rastafari, so who him talking about?
Haile Selassie and himself.
So what does
you said me or somebody?
That he said when they crowned him, like they was trying to ask him who he is or what have you, and him said, "A tribe in the west shall exalt my name."
When him said that, we heard him say that.
I don't have that concrete.
I just said nothing like that.
Nothing like that.
He not said nothing like that.
So he doesn't say that. He never said a tribe in the west shall exalt
my name. I just said not about no tribe in no west.
Wow.
I listen to say the Jamaicans. Listen to me. When them say the thing I know, I listen to say is that him say the Jamaicans and the Ethiopians are blood brothers. That is what him say. We are blood brothers. The Jamaicans and the Ethiopians are blood brothers. I know when I look at the Bible, I know see nothing about Haile Selassie in the Bible.
So the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords is not Haile Selassie.
That is a title given to the king of the emperors in Ethiopia, and there's many kings in Ethiopia.
So
he's the king of all the kings.
When they talk about the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, and isn't their mighty name shall be terrible amongst the heathen? It's not Haile Selassie.
So which Haile Selassie name terrible amongst the heathen? Which heathen Haile Selassie name terrible amongst?
I'm just asking you a question.
No, I don't know about what you asked me. I don't know what you asked me.
Which name is terrible amongst the heathen away from Haile Selassie?
George Bush. Putin.
The heathen.
Yeah. You don't know what Eden. Who you call Eden? Who you call Eden? Who you call Eden? Tell me who you call Eden.
The offsprings of those that slave.
So then I don't slave. My people them come on and slave.
Of those that slave people.
You mean say white people say Haile Selassie name as terrible? We say that white people say Haile Selassie name as terrible.
So none of them ever exalt that name?
May I ask you?
Away from a few.
No, may I ask you a question?
When you said when you shout Haile Selassie,
you want me explain something? You want me explain something? You not explain nothing to me. When you tell me which group of white people say the name Haile Selassie as terrible?
That name?
Yeah. Which group of white people say that as terrible? Which Eden?
No. Babylonian people would never call up on that name.
No, I never said them call, but I don't go Babylon. Jamaican black people don't call up on them name mostly.
Because they were trained. They were trained.
Them not the trained Savior.
Them accept the sweet Jesus Christ. But if a short Haile Selassie, them scan it. It look terrible to them.
No, brethren. When you ever go see a show, you can hear a man come and say, Jarrah, you have to say, Rastafari, Al-Bali,
I'm not talking about we black people who love reggae music and I'm talking about those aristocratic people.
You ever go a reggae festival in Germany yet?
Those people.
No. May I ask you? Don't answer me, man.
I've never been.
All right, let me tell you something.
When the rhythm is with it and the music with it, it's a different vibration.
So which part you hear? Who's the Eden? Who you call Eden?
All right, like the people who the preachers, the Bible people.
The preachers are Eden.
Yes, man.
Why them is Eden? Why them call it? Why is it Eden?
If you read the prophecy, it tells you that the kings of the earth has go against the Lord and his prophets and his anointed.
Yes, I'm not telling which kings of the earth don't like Haile Selassie. No, where them there? Which part of the kingdom them know when they like Haile Selassie?
Most of the people them in high places.
Which like people them? Which people them? Look at
the poor. All those people.
Which people on earth right now that don't like Haile Selassie?
And his teachings. None of the people.
What is the teachings that them don't like? Them what the teaching is that's what them don't like.
Alright, let me give you an example.
Yes,
if you said that Haile Selassie is from King Solomon, like you were holding a good reason with a preacher, because I've spoken to a lot of preachers, and I would try to tell them that, listen, the only country in the world that have a cultural exchange with Israel is Ethiopia. All the other European countries, them usually rob the Israelites and
so which part of Israelite them there? Which part of Israelite them there? Which part of Israelite them?
Of the history of the Israel whole Rome.
No, wait, hold on, brethren. Yeah, hold on, brethren. Hold on, man.
Okay.
Which group of people that don't like Haile Selassie? Which Eden people don't like Haile Selassie?
No preachers. Most preachers.
No preachers don't like Haile Selassie?
No, they don't like.
Like which preacher? Like which tell me the preacher then? Which preacher?
Any Christian preacher.
So no Christian preacher don't like Haile Selassie.
To them, yeah, because
foolishness you're talking. It's foolishness you're talking. It's foolishness you're talking.
Why you say that? Explain.
You know much man in the earth, you know much head of state. Give Haile Selassie respect and due more than where you don't know in Jamaica.
I'm not.
Haile Selassie is one of the most respected.
Head of state position.
Head of state, me talk about.
They're talking about head of state. I know that he visited a lot of.
No, me talk about don't see.
I'm talking about when they come to religion.
His name not terrible monks, no head of state.
I'm talking about religious. I'm not talking about head of state.
Religious what? Religious what? So we talk about religious. Religious. Which part? You read Bible and equate it with the people. The powers that say them are Eden. You tell the Eden them not like all preachers are Eden.
Of course, them robbing and.
So every preacher where you know are rob people. So we rob.
You mean them taking the money from.
So you have Rasta with rob people. You have Rasta with rob people.
From your Rasta, you're not supposed to rob people.
Okay, but no, now ask that question. I never give them supposed to or not supposed to. Me ask you.
I don't know any
Rasta will rob people.
Taking people money.
All right, but you know every preacher will take with people money. Every preacher take with people money. That's what I say.
The preacher, you're telling liars, but Marley them feel like bombing a church because the preacher lie.
Yes, so every preacher lie. Every preacher lie.
Yeah, man, every preacher lie.
And no Rasta not thief nothing. No Rasta not take with nothing.
No, I could never say that.
But that's what you just said.
But in every
Okay, there's good and bad. So Rasta couldn't be Eden then. So Rasta couldn't be Eden.
Rasta should be praising the King of Kings and be Eden.
Because maybe him a thief too.
Well, every man has to sit down. Come on.
You
cannot just equate things like that. Everyone
you just equate, but you just tell me say every preacher thief. You just tell me say every preacher thief.
Fault here and there. But Eden and have a little fault is different.
No, you tell me say every preacher thief and tell lie.
Yeah, man.
All right, and you don't know no Rasta with thief and tell lie. Because Rasta, you couldn't be a Rasta and a thief and a tell lie. That you say.
Willingly. Without making a little mistake.
Then you have no preacher will make mistake. You have no preacher will make mistake.
Coming on Sundays and talking about
every preacher
colonial name here because them calling on colonial name because I heard they use a name.
So God is not a colonial name. God is not a colonial name.
Yes, all English names are colonial.
Yeah, so what you saying? So why you want me to say interpret the power that is the power of Holy Trinity? Why you want me to interpret it?
Because you do it in English.
Nobody don't walk around and say the Emperor of Ethiopia named power of the Holy Trinity. You know anybody will walk around and say the Emperor of Ethiopia named the power of the Holy Trinity?
I said all English name is colonial. Name, I said name.
I just not name power of the Holy Trinity.
That's a meaning. I said name.
No, I listen Lassie. What? I listen Lassie is what? You know his name?
Of course it's his name.
Then if I listen Lassie is... Hold on. No. I listen Lassie is not English. I listen Lassie is... No, listen to me now, man. I listen Lassie name. I listen Lassie. If you translate it into English, it means power of the Holy Trinity. So may I ask you now, if I listen Lassie is not power of the Holy Trinity?
Alright, me personally, I don't believe in a farmer Trinity.
You know, and you know, this is what you believe in. May I ask if Haile Selassie, the name Haile Selassie, though, is not power of the Holy Trinity?
I would have to research that some more. I don't
What do you mean research it some more?
Research it and so deep.
So when Haile Selassie is English?
You tell me.
No, Haile Selassie is not English.
So where this come from? What's your objective in all of this? Because I said,
And you call me now, what do you mean?
English.
What?
Because I said Jesus is English. And
No, not because you said that. I tell you, say, Haile Selassie is not English. And Jesus I tell me,
I never said
then how do I tell me about, say, me I talk about English and English and English. And English,
because
the teacher them use English.
Them say using English name.
Then we're wrong if them use English name, if them don't know better. You can't go to me say, no, every person a thief and
because them using colonial name. All these names were made by English linguists.
Then you know say God. You know say God.
No, I don't say God.
What you say? What you say? What you say?
I listen, that's straight.
You say I say that is straight. I don't interpret it then.
No, man. I
Then, so where you get so where you get King of Kings from?
All right. Based upon the English that we use.
Oh God, now you go back now say I use English. Oh, okay.
By time we will reach there.
So when I say I now say God, when I say I know say I say God, why you object to that?
I did want just you to explain yourself.
Yeah, so me explain yourself?
Yes, you did.
All right, we don't need to talk no more then.
Okay, sir.
All right, give thanks.
Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John is not Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Because I grew up here, so them was the apostles of Christ who used to walk up and the disciples. Not no go so. Not no go so. Then the next one named Paul is really a problem. Because problem look like him there. Paul look like him there and he only for food and him say a bright light strike him on the way to Damascus. And him get this revelation of Jesus Christ where him things them right long before Matthew, Luke, and John. And him never meet Jesus Christ yet. Nobody don't know where Jesus Christ buried. Them say him gone back. Him raised from the dead and gone. Which part him gone? It's not somebody where you're dead and born again or you're dead and raised from the dead to come back do certain things. You know, no, it's not so it go. It's in this life. It's in this life. So, me hear the arguments, you know, Jesus Christ and all these things, and me I say it non-apologetically, you know. We not work with Jesus Christ, you know. Yeah, we not work with Jesus Christ, and that guy lick a whole heap of head. Cause a whole heap of man hear Rasta say, Haile Selassie is the second coming of Jesus Christ. Me not them joke there. Me not in those joke. You know, see it? Me not them joke there. Cause we never come in a Rasta to come here about Jesus Christ again. After we know, say, the man they make up some things and dash per way. Before we go to the root of the conversation, we are listening to them third and fourth hand views. So we don't really into the Jesus thing. And we're not praying to no Jesus and says Haile Selassie we are praying to. Because we're not even praying to Haile Selassie neither. I don't go to bed and say, oh, Haile Selassie what in Zion. I don't say those things. You know, because this is a revolution. Rastafari is the answer to white supremacy and colonialism. That is where it was bound for. A man I come try to change it now in a one love, one heart, let's get together and be all right and all them something like him want have a 24/7, 56 weeks 360 odd days a year, 2,000 years in a millennium, and really claim it as redemption because him can facilitate certain music. Yes. Because most man know, because him facilitate certain music, him feel says this right there. Most Rasta no musician. Most Rasta is not musician. Sorry to disappoint you. Most Rasta is not a musician. It's just like the ones them who do music, them have the voice. Like how me dey on the radio all the while, people hear my voice all the while, so it come like Muta is a Rasta voice. But there's so many voices of Rastafari out there. But we really have to come to grips with the theology and the philosophy where Rasta supposed to deal with in at this time, yeah. And even in at this time, I give the COVID sensibilities that is creating certain hardship and certain levels of scaredom. We will call it scaredom. We need to get a grip of ourselves as Rasta. We need to get a grip, man. We can't continue going like we never did reach a certain level. We reach a certain level, so we are going like we reach over Jordan and want to turn back. We not turn back. We not search for River Jordan neither. We are create our own river. And we not sit down by no rivers up no Babylon. Because you know, long way man I sing that. But we by rivers of Babylon, them sat down and there we wept when he remember Zion. And the wicked carry us away in captivity, require us a song. How can we sing King Alpha song in a strange land? Yet still every day a man make a song about Jah Rastafari. We have to figure it out, you know. We have to figure it out. Bob Marley say, too much mix up. We have to be straight like an arrow. Yeah, man, we can't be just a goddess and make the wind just a lick back over this have like some boat. We don't have no rudder. We have to be straight like an arrow, man. So if you deal with the thing, just deal with the thing. Nobody go around and come back around and go around like circle, you know, you go around in circles and go around in circles. No, straight. Leonard Owil. Sure with that. Marcus Garvey. Yeah, man. The man there sure with certain things. Some people don't even know about Leonard Owil. You hear about Leonard Owil, they don't even know who's in Leonard Owil. You know, you have Martimo Plano. Yeah, man. The man, they stand up. What we call no Bono G. Like rock of Gibraltar. Them stand up there and no move. You them are going like them are skid out the thing, a pretty out the thing. Yeah, like a pretty thing are going, you know, Cha-Cha Rasta. You know? It's weird. It's weird, man. No, sir. In my house, there is a picture on the wall. Rastafari sit up on his throne. Yes. We're not equating Haile Selassie with no one. Because we cannot make Haile Selassie lesser or greater than who him is. So all the names them where you put on him, you know, all the names them where you attach to it, cannot make him greater or lesser than who him is. So just accept him just like that. You don't have to send him gone 2,000 years ago. You don't have to talk about him dip and cross and come back. All them little illusions is not necessary in Rastafari. Rastafari is facing the reality of life. Rastafari is showing African people that there is another way to look at life in the Western world. So we go to the root of mankind, which is Ethiopia. We go to the root of man, which is Ethiopia. And we find something that is binding us together to make our life here in this part of the world and this farmer slave plantation island more meaningful and more purposeful to understand ourselves. And we have people who have guided us over the years. Man like Marcus Garvey, who say Africa for Africans, those at home and those abroad, who make you recognize that it's a simple journey, but you have to make up your mind to take the journey. Because one step and you tumble. One step and you can't tumble. Yet still them say 1,000 miles start with that one step. And a whole heap of man tumble, you know. Whole heap of man tumble, but the journey continue even if you tumble and can't bother. It's just so it go. Uncensored. Hear what I go now. A whole heap of works be seen, man. Not just talk it, but make them see it. Yes. Because you know, say, we's a light, you know. We's a light. It's like a candle pan a mountainside, you know. Dark, but the light guide you. So we have to know that we are light. Lights of the world, man. Many people sometimes come say, Muta, tell me something, like why you not eat meat, or why you eat? The problem with them little argument there, you know, is like, people feel say vegetarian and not have no choice. And them have more choice, but people who have meat have no whole heap of choice to eat. Them just eat meat. May I tell you, Maccabee 3 lick we give me, you know. Out of Birmingham, the Virgin has some serious poetry. May I tell you, man, him flexing the poetry straight. This is the Cutting Edge on IRFM. You know, when the program starts with that about Rasta and how Rasta seem to like a follow Christian so much now that them start to, all of them song, them start to sound like Christian. And you know, a whole heap of Rasta out there will tell you, say them are Christian, them are the first Christian, African was the first Christian and all them something there. We know how the origination of Jesus Christ come about. We know, say, really and truly, a whole heap of it a make up. Whole heap of it a make up. We know, say, the book them where them give Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. We know, say, know whether the Bible tell you, say, them man that it exists. It's just the book of according to Matthew, according to Mark. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John is not Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Because I grew up here, so they must be apostles of Christ when you used to walk up and the disciples. Not no go so. Not no go so. Then the next one, when named Paul, is really a problem. Because problem look like him there. Paul look like him there and name only for food and him say, a bright light strike him on the way to Damascus. And him get this revelation of Jesus Christ. Where him things them right long before Matthew, Luke, and John. And him never meet Jesus Christ yet. Nobody don't know where Jesus Christ buried. Them say him gone back. Him raised from the dead and gone. Which part him gone? People feast up in the sky. This man stood up in the sky for 2,000 years. Where him get clothes from? For change him clothes and water and all them something there. It's a joke business. Joke, serious joke. So we come now and we are say, look here. We all deal with our experience, our way of living, and create something for ourselves. So a man come and say, a foolish is your talk, man. You don't believe in a God. People ask them questions, you don't believe in a God. And when you ask him, say, when you say God, what you mean? And so you mean what you mean when you say God? I say, God, the man who created you and me. And I say, but God not create me. Right away, it's miserable. You get miserable now when you tell him, say, God not created. Remember Bridging, big singer too. Big singer. The first time me and him go have some reasoning. It's like it turned out to me should just walk away. Because after me I tell him about God, and me I say, boy, well, me don't know. Him say, who make the trees? Me say, boy, me don't know, you know. The man bring me outside of the house and look up at the sky and say, who make the star? Me say, I don't know. The man begs with me for about how much I chew. I don't know, I chew, me not really old grudge at all every day, why. I still talk to him, but the man go like say, me the wickedest person ever meet. How me forgot say me don't know who make the sky star? How me forgot know, sir, how me go forgot talk about me don't know who make the tree? I mean, I say, but me really don't know. Me don't know who make the tree. Me would have played the service, me go tell you, say, no, me know, say, a God make the tree. I don't know, because I have so much God. Even the God in the Bible I say, thou shalt have no other God but me. That means other gods exist, but him no one. You have no other God but him. So it kind of get away that we as Rasta now come create something for ourselves and then I lean back upon the things them where them to tell we. The road of old-time religion. Old-time religion can't help you now. Because old-time religion can't come here so in a bondage and slavery and take our brains and all them something there. We need to come out of that. We need to go to the root of people with a knowledge of them history. It's like a tree without root. It's just simple. So we have to find the root, you know. And only by the thing that I tell you stem from something else. Long before. But people now are examining just like how we played the tape a while ago about the flu. So if you tell them, say, without playing the tape, I go to a man on the road and say, you know, say people are wearing masks from the 1918 or 100 years ago because you have a flu like this or come around, you know. You know, say, Muta, where you get them things from? Well, Muta, you can come up with some things, see? Which flu? No flu never about like this. And then me and him go down in an argument now, and then we have to go walk when now. And then say, see them boy, the Muta, or if it's a little other one, them now, I call me boy, I'm going to say, where the mother come from, come with them argument there. But you know, history is not imagination, you know. History is something that happen, physically happen. History physically happen, it's not belief. You believe that it's happening in the past is where you believe. It not have nothing to do with the reality of the situation. You know, man believes that a man did dead and come up out of grave and come up back. I wish I asked him which part him them say him gone up in the sky to come again. In this 21st century, who must believe them something there? You know how long him supposed to come and him not come. Look how much things black people are going through. The pressure where black people are going through. And him not say black people are come through all of them something if you come stand up in night and say no, this can't continue for another how much 300, 400 years. Then some people get off with it. Some people know saying Jesus and them control the world. And you are say Jesus and you is the one who them a control. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. So we couldn't look at this thing and all like say everything for them is for me. So just like how them use it, me go use it too. No, sir. We create my own thing. We create our own thing. Nobody can tell you say you're wrong. Because him don't know where he must say more than him believe where he must say. Him believe say, you know, like your grandmother sit down and I believe this thing, and your great grandmother, and she dead and no Jesus can't come yet. And your grandmother dead and except for she and grandmother. Who are heal up she and grandmother who are 102-year-old. Yes, she and yeah man. Who are heal up she and grandmother who are 102-year-old. She born when the plague, when not the plague, the virus, the Spanish flu start. That's a wonderful thing. 102-year-old. Me not go so far, see, you know. Me not go so far, man. No, man. Me not go so far. Really and truly. Me don't want to reach out. Well, maybe I should healthy too, you know. Maybe sure. But she not going to live long, you know, because them say, entire people, all your DNA, you kind of have that longevity in your DNA. So, yes, sir. Happy birthday, Mama. Happy birthday anyway you're there. I hope she ain't gonna look for you, you know. Shane, I hope you gonna look for your mother, your grandmother, you know. Shane.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. We are gonna do that.
Shane, answer me, you know. Oh, you're going to answer my brethren. If you go look for your grandmother, you know, brethren.
Yes, man. How are you, say muta? Yeah, man.
Anyway, she the answer me. Then how you going to answer me? Talk to me.
I answer you, man, but because
when you go there? When you go there? Oh, I did delay. Yeah, true. I forgot about delay, you know. Sorry about that. I delayed long, man. No, man, 102 is something else, man. 102. Enough time that 100 years ago, when plane never did a fly.
Yeah, man, up in a Mount Moriah.
You did that age when plane never did a fly. 100 years from now, you're going to hear people say, and that's where she come from.
Yeah, man, Mount Moriah, St. Ann, Borough Bridge area.
You, man. Anyway. Yeah. But, I want to tell you who come from up at them area. They told me, hey, she gonna know my wife, mother. She gonna know my wife, mother, believe you me. Anyway, we will take the other man come forward. This is the continuation of RFM. I know that's what a whole heap of one might say. My brother, they're crazy, you know. Yeah, man. We don't mind the crazy talk still. The crazy branding. So, we'll talk about Rastafari and how the thing, a whole heap of ones, especially the singer them. Yeah, let them tune it, so like it's a Sunday day, them tune if you play. Cause, I mean, nobody now say Haile Selassie again. Like Haile Selassie appear Jah. Everybody has said Jah now because him no want to say Haile Selassie. I years me I say it, you know, you can't make Haile Selassie greater or lesser than who him is. Jah in the Bible, Psalm 68, it started right up on the win as Jah. Jah is a bastardization of Yah, Y-A-H, because them don't have no J in the Hebrew language. So J-A-H is English, them say Jah instead of Yah. So when a man say Jah, him not necessarily have to talk about Haile Selassie. When you say Haile Selassie, is Haile Selassie I talk about. So we don't need to add no name upon him, Jah Rastafari. We don't need to add nothing. You know, see, just take it as it is, Rastafari. Simple, Rastafari. Haile Selassie, the first. I just saw it go. You understand? We don't stop say that, because so it go. You got to add things upon him, is this and that and that and... Hey, me have a book. Right now, me have a book. It's a book, you know, with all the Haile Selassie's, what them call it, titles. Can you imagine a man have a book, and him tell you about Haile Selassie titles in the book? And that book is about Haile Selassie titles, with all the titles them in it from everywhere. So can you imagine now you go call out film name? Ladies and gentlemen, we now present to you Emperor Haile Selassie, first order of the this and that, first right things, that, and tomorrow you don't call him, title them. You understand? So I said, oh, I just Rastafari, Haile Selassie. You don't have to say nothing else. You don't have to say God, you don't have to say Christ in his king, the character, you don't have to say Christ return, you don't have to say all them talk there. Because them think there's confusion. Confusion to the mind who out there now where I tell you say, but Haile Selassie I know God. Or you get that. You know, see it? Because imagine God in a female head, I can't do them tell him God created the heaven and the earth. And like when me look on the bridge and I say, me don't know who created it. Him vex with me. Because I don't know, but him know. Him knows your God. Yes, sir. What is God? You can't say what is God to certain people. You have to say who is God. And that is the problem with it. You can't look on a man and say, boy, it create the heaven and the earth. And you must say, you can't call God it. Then all you know is it's right for call God God. Confusion. Confusion. It's really a confusion. It's a confusion, right? God. What is God? What is God? That is the question, you know. What is God, not who is God? Because make God into a person, you know, so you try to make him become like human, anthropomorphic. Them call it anthropomorphism, where you give God all the attributes of a human being. So if it's who is God, and you say he is a human being you talk about, but most people, when them say God is not a human being them talk about, it's a it. But it sounds disgusting if you say it when you deal with God. But it's better you say it than say he. It's better you say it than say she. Some people are married have God. Some people married have God, you know. Say, if you have a God, you must have a goddess. So him God at another level, you know. Alright, Haile Selassie is a man. And him have a wife who's a woman. It's simple. Simple things, you know. Simple things. You don't have to get in a whole heap of this and this and that. You know, it's just that you have to validate your perception and concepts based upon European logics. It's just so. Yes. The man say, let's all spread the love. Yeah, man, we have to spread the love. Because, you know, say, we want some more of that amongst each other. We want some more of that amongst each other. You know, what people are left church and I find God, you know.